Hi everyone, trust you all are doing well. So what we're going to be doing in this one is we're going to make the button functional. We've done all the hard work till now, so we just need to make this button functional. So if the user wants to subscribe to a thread, they can do that. All right, there's a couple of refactorings that I want to do. I just want to add the category part to our route file. So let's quickly do that. All right, so this is basically our route file right there. We added the thread right there. I want to use the thread slug. So I'm just going to make use of our full URL to show for our threads.show. Right, so I'm just going to paste that in here. Let's just do that. So we're just going to make our category being part of our, let me just make sure that this needs to be a /, otherwise we're going to get an error. All right, and just make sure I misspelled this. All right, so it's some incorrect spelling there. I think I left out the S. Just make sure that you spelled it correctly as well. All right, so there's a couple of things after this. That's a little bit of refactor that I want to do, just this part right here. Okay, let's close that off. All right, so this is our show page, the one that we've just been on. All right, what I want to do, because we make use of the thread model, right here, the thread variable, and I want to pass that through our site nav right here. So thread like this, I'm going to pass that through to our site, to our blade component. All right, because we're going to need that in a second. Okay, in order for the person to know to which button they need to subscribe to. So if we go to the site nav right here, you will see we've got that button right here. All right, now there's a couple of things I want to do. But before I do that, I want to show you something. All right, our index page, this page right here, where all our threads are basically stored in and being displayed. This page right here also make use of that same nav. All right, now, I don't want this button to be displayed if the route is actually in the main threads, okay? I don't want that button to be there, okay? The second thing is, I don't want that button also to appear, let's say we get here, if the person is not authenticated, meaning the person is not logged in, okay? I don't want that button to be displayed there as well. But to start the new discussion, I want to leave there because if they're not authenticated, it will take them to the login page. Okay, so let's do that. So let's just finish that up and make that functional how I want it to be functional. So let's do that quickly. All right, so the reason why I'm explaining things a little bit is so that we can understand. So I'm just going to create authentication class and I'm just going to move that subscription button basically in there. All right, so now that button will not be displayed if the person is not authenticated. All right, and I just want to remove that border like that. Now the second part is I don't want this button also. So now the person needs to be authenticated. The second part, like I said, I don't want this button also to show if it's in the index route. It must only display if the button is basically, let me just move it in that if statement. I'm going to add the condition in a second. All right. Now the second part is this button must only show if the route is that threads.show. Okay. So let's do that. If the request, okay, is route is threads.show. Okay, so if that route is that route, please show this button. Else, not. But let's quickly do above the authentication. Just right here, let's just copy this and see what it returns for us. It will either return a 1, a true, or false. Let me just make sure nothing's wrong. Okay, I didn't finish it off. Okay, like that. So let me just show you what this returns. Okay. Now, as you can see, it returns a 1 when that 1 means true, a 0 means false. Okay. So at the moment, it returns a 1, meaning we at that route. Okay. So let's go to the main page right here. As you can see, it doesn't even show because I'm just going to move it above that button right there. But that's not necessary to do because it is going to give us a 1 because this actually button will actually not show. Let's go and check that quickly out. Don't want to waste unnecessary time. As you can see, that button is not being displayed. Why? Because it's not on that show route. So if you go to this route, you'll see the subscribe button is shown. Okay, so that's a quick fix, and for me, it works great. Okay, so you can obviously design it and style it however you want, but this works for me. All right, so the next part is I want this button to actually go to our routes that we just created to subscribe and unsubscribe. Okay, so let's do that. Right, now the thing is we're getting our thread variable from our show right here, and that thread variable we're going to make use of in our site navigation right here. Now another part is we need to create a can statement. All right, you guys remember we created our thread policies. So if the user can basically subscribe or unsubscribe. Okay, so let me just give us some room here so that you guys can easily see it. All right, and if you're finished, we obviously kind of remove the space. Okay, so let's use the can statement. This comes with the blade, okay, and with Laravel. So we're just going to do an app /policies. Let me just dump this out quickly. All right, so there's a couple of changes that I've made. So I've just kind of finished it up. All right, so let me just quickly give us some room so that you guys can easily see it. I just bring in the can to make sure the person can unsubscribe, and I pass that thread variable. You remember the one that I just explained to you guys, the one that I'm passing through right there. All right, so then I created a link, all right, and then the route. Let me just give us some room here. Okay. Then I put it the route, so a link with an href, or you could have just made an anchor tag. Okay, just make an anchor tag like that. Okay, so you don't have to worry about the blade components. You can just make an anchor tag and style it however you want. Okay. Then we did an href to that unsubscribe route. Okay, that one right there. Okay, and then we put in the first part is going to be the thread category slug, and the second part is the thread slug. Okay, let me just open my web route just to show you guys. All right, in my web route, this is the first part that I'm in our array for parameters, and this is the second part right there. Okay, so let's go back. So that's why this is an array. The first part is for the categories, second part is for the thread. Okay, so that's our unsubscribe, and we do exactly the same thing for our subscription. Now, instead of unsubscribe, we're doing subscribe right there. All right, so hopefully everything works. So we click the button, we're supposed to be subscribe, and if we click it again, we're supposed to be unsubscribe. Hopefully everything works. Let's test it out. All right, so let's click the button, and hopefully everything works. The controller subscribe 2 arguments. Oh yes, we need to fix that as well. So don't be afraid when you get the errors. It's kind of self-explanatory, but if you get this error, please see how I fix it. So let's open our thread controller. Let's go to our controller right here. So it's expecting 2 arguments. The other argument is obviously the category. Okay, and I'm just going to put in the category right there. And I'm going to do the same thing for our thread panel right here. Let's just pass the unsubscription as well. Now, I'm just going to make sure that I import this at the top. So as you can see, it's already imported. Now, the thing is, if you want to make people be subscribed to the category, all right, it's available for you to do that. But I'm not going to do that, but I'm passing it as a parameter right there. Okay, so let's test it. All right, so now if the person clicks the subscribe button, let's do that. And you've been subscribed to this thread. Quite nice. And the button changed now to unsubscribe. So if I want to unsubscribe, I just click that again. And as you can see, we've been unsubscribed from this thread. Okay, I need to just fix that spelling right there. Okay, so I fixed that. Right, for our sake, let's just do that again. As you can see, you have been subscribed. Okay, all good. So now our subscription is working. Now, obviously, if the person is subscribed to the thread, if someone replies or do anything on this thread, that person, whoever subscribed to the thread, must be notified as well. So, all right. And that's it for this one. And if you like the video, guys, please give it a like. If you don't, please give it a dislike. And thank you guys for watching. I will just pause for a second on the button so that you, if you want to just see it further and copy it maybe in your part, I will do that quickly. All right, just pause it here. And thank you guys for watching. And if you like the video, please give it a like. If you don't, please give it a dislike. And if you have any suggestions, feedback, or if you want what else you want to see happen in the forum, we're still going to do that. All right, thank you guys, and see you in the next one. Adios.